Nature. What is nature? It's the set of living organisms that make up the physical universe, that have occurred naturally without the intervention of man. That the modern concept of nature that refers to a world as a physical universe is recent. It began to be used from the evolution of science and modern research. Nature is the way certain beings and living things coexist, such as animals, plants, and humans. The intervention of the human brain in the nature has generated great problems in nature, seriously affect the life of beings, and as a result ours as well. The quality of life decreases and cause serious complications. That is why we must be aware of the care of the environment and nature. It is now that if we continue to use the planet's resources improperly and without conscience, there will come a time when there will be no more available. We cannot live without nature because she gives us everything we need to live. So we must take care of her.
So, the second topic is the pollination. Pollination is the process through which pollen is transferred from the stamen, male floral organ, to the stigma, female floral organ. In this way, germination and fertilization of ovules of the flower occurs, which result in the production of seed and fruit. It happens countless times a day. Flower bright petals and the smell of sweet nectar attract a bee. The bee stops for by a quick taste and small grain of pollen stick to its body. The bee then travels to another flower and the same take and deposit the pollen as it as another meal. This is an example of animal pollination, a process vital to plant reproduction. It's not only plants that depend on animal pollination, humans do too. Worldwide, approximately 1,000 plants that we grow for food, spice, clothing fibers, and medicine depend on it. If pollination suddenly stopped, we would have no apples, tomatoes, coffee, and many other goods. This vital process is carried out by more than 2,000 different animal species known as pollinators, flies and beetles, the original pollinators, that back 130 million years to the first flowering plants, birds, butterflies, and ants also do their part. Even non-flying mammals help out. Monkeys tear open flowers with their hands, accidentally spreading pollen into the air and onto their fur. So pollinators are therefore vital, but they are also climate change, habitat loss, and invasive predators all threatening them. The United States, for example, has lost over 50% of its honeybees over the past 10 years. A serious threat facing bees is colony collapse disorder, when worker bees mysteriously disappear from their colony. Scientists are still trying to identify its cause. There is a good attribute to Einstein that if bees ever disappeared, man would only have 4 years left to live. So, a flower with bright petals and a sweet smell attracts a bee. The bee lands on the flower and brings its nectar. Someone pollen gets on the bee's body. The bee lands on another flower and deposits the pollen there. and the flower now has what it needs to produce a set, which will grow into a new plant. The pollination is a key process in natural terrestrial ecosystem and agricultural spaces. The vast majority of flowering plant species only produce seed if an animal pollinator transports pollen from other the flower stigmas. With, with food, the pollination serves many interconnected species and processes. Operation within an ecosystem would collapse.
The third topic to speak today is the parts of the flower. Part of the flower first is a anther. Anther is the final part of the yarn. It's characterized by being a homologous structure and is responsible for producing pollen. The base of the stemers is composed of a little piece known as filament and the anther that joins the lateral end of it. Other of the part is the shoot. The shoots, they are the new growths of the plants that include the yolks, the stems, and the leaves. The germination outbreak of the seeds that grow in vertical direction in an outbreak that will produce leaves. Other of the part Other of the part is the chalice. The chalice is the from the external verticil of the flowers that has a heteroclimate perianth. It is composed of sepals that have a green hue and have herbaceous consisting. Its function is practical. Other of the part is the corolla. The corolla is the verticil of the inner part of the flower and is composed of petals, normally in striking course in emotive plants. And its main function is to attract the attention of insects that produce pollination. The corolla important is the corolla is very important because it's the most part to the to make the process of pollination. The stigma. A stigma is the part of the generation that pollen obtains during pollination. This region, located on the outside of the surface of the carpets, are separated from the ovary by the state. Finally, the most important part is the ovule. The ovule is the cell that is responsible for the reproduction of the plant formed in the ovary. It contains the female gamete inside the embryo, sac to the antipodal cells and podal cells. The synergized cells, the calf, the nucella, and the nuclear that joins the placenta. Other part is perianth. Perianth is the flower structure that surrounds the sexual organs. Is not the reproductive part. The pistil part or of the female organ of the flower that groups the style, stigma, ovary, and forms a carpet. The stem axis of the aerial part of the cormopeds. It is also the organ in charge of supporting the flowers, the fruits, and the leaves. The pollen, they are the grains that secretes plants with seed and are made up of male gametes. The root is very important main embryotic organ that grounds during the germination of the seeds toward the interior of soil because it has negative protomines and positive heteropines.
Okay, and the next topic is about the pollinators. And these are the three more important pollinators. First, bees are the flying insects that is closer to the wild and ants. Now, in the role of the pollination, the west honey of bees is producing an honey and wasp bee. Bees are a monophyletic lineage with a superfamily that are present considered a clade called Anthropodia. There are 6,000 of these species. Bees are in seven recognized biopharmic, bio, biologic families. They are found on every continent except the Antarctic. And the next is about this, that are butterflies. Butterflies is a little and beauty insect, flying insect that large scale of wings, like an insect. They are six jointed legs and three body parts. The part of the antennas, compound eyes, and the exoskeleton. Their three body parts are the head, thorax, and the abdomen. And the last one about the ants, that these are eurosocial insect of the family of the Formicolid, and suddenly across the old globe disappeared during the early of the life Cresosaurus, but already considered the different time of suggestion of early origins, and evolved and bespoke was ancestor and the Cretaceous period. More about butterfly that this you can find on all over the world and in all the type of the environment, hot and cool. Diet and the most at the level that high the mountains and most butterfly species. However, you can find butterflies in tropical areas, essentially tropical rainforest. Thank you.
The more we learn from bees, plant pollination surveys, and interaction between agricultural ecosystems, the better we can conserve and manage the future of biodiversity, ensure the health of ecosystems, and improve the human life model. We must expand our knowledge by base monitor claim of pollination. Detect deficits, assess socioeconomic dependence, identify the relationship and dependence and interdependence of plants and pollinators. This video, this video was made by Sebastian Ruiz, Juan Pablo Romero, Jesus David Bruno, and Valentina Paternina. Thank you.